What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of finding yourself? The only time we ask real questions is when we are kids. It is human nature, in general, to accept everything that surrounds you, that you see, hear, and experience as facts, and accept the way life is and should be. You're perhaps taught that you need to follow religion, have values, respect morality, go to school, study, get a degree, have a career, get married, buy a house and a car, have babies. You retire when you're 60, 65, and then you're free to enjoy your life. That's the vast majority of the people. We built a system based on these parameters: schools, religious centers, healthcare, social security, education system, etc. People assume roles within this framework. There are people who think out of the box and achieve success within this framework to be rich and famous. But this thinking out of the box is task specific, and most of these people are still within a slightly larger box. Our unique combination of intelligence and consciousness has been immensely harnessed in the form of securing our future before the present, like no other living creature on this planet. As an example, it would translate into a lion who would work hard to fill a frozen warehouse to store his kill. This ability is one of the fundamental reasons behind human success, advancement, and evolution. But you almost want to ask the question, if the lion has a warehouse full of frozen meat, what does the lion do all day? Now that's a really good question. Do we even know what consciousness really is? The way in which you tap it is where it makes all the difference, because this play can influence how you manage time, effort, and action to an extent where you can completely lose perspective and get totally absorbed in your world, your box, or your bubble. Somehow the smarter we get, the smaller we become. There have been great people in the past who have questioned the facts and found the time to think. And you really have to admire the greatness of these people because they did not have the tools that we have at our disposal today. The path to gaining back this perspective is also the one to finding yourself. Can you imagine your dog waking up with an alarm at 6 a.m. in the morning to drive through stressful doggy traffic, coming back home tired to mow the lawn, and then playing video games and watching Netflix every night? Of course, you would find that a bit weird or even ridiculous, right? It's because you're watching it from the outside. An outsider's perspective makes it conspicuous. On a bright side, let's be happy for the dogs. Just look at how happy your four-legged friend sitting next to you is right now. But the idea is neither to live like animals, nor to go to the forest and live like hermits in caves. Thousands of years of evolution has brought us here. And it's nothing less than a miracle how we got here. Each need, want, desire paved way for the world we live in today. But since we are prone to losing perspective, we also specialize in creating Frankenstein's monsters, and therefore connecting with yourself is important. Don't worry, an idle man's brain is not a devil's workshop. You have to avoid following the herd mentality and find the time to think and get bored. Thousands of years of human evolution is just a small blip in the history of our universe. We created the concept of time to record events. The time it takes for the Earth to revolve around itself is a day. The time it takes for the moon to revolve around the Earth and itself is a month. And we call the time it takes for the Earth to revolve around the sun a year. In human timescale, the universe is very old. But in the universe's timescale, the entire event of human creation, evolution, and destruction will be a small blip and will mean nothing. We perhaps think that there may be other forms of life that exist in the universe. However, think about not only how big the universe is, but also the immense scale of the universe's timeline, that it would be a very slim probability not just for another form of life to exist, but also that it coincides with the timeline of human existence, approximately 3 million years. The Earth is about 4.5 billion years old, and yet primitive humans first walked on Earth just 2.5 million years ago. In about 7.5 billion years, the sun will be several times larger, shining thousands of times brighter than it does today, and will expand beyond the Earth's orbit. You and I, and everything we have ever known, will be long gone before this happens. But even this, on our galaxy's timescale, as we try to understand it, is absolutely insignificant. Everything that humans have ever seen and known is minuscule in comparison to the timeline of the universe. Knowing this, should our psychological reality still matter as much? While we are here, why be a slave to our own creations, whether psychological or physical? Life does not have any meaning or purpose. It's something we need if we are trapped in our psychological structure. Our purpose can be whatever we want. We could spend our life playing video games all day long, Or we could dedicate our life to putting man in space. Either ways, while we figure things out, we might as well do it with a high level of consciousness, and more importantly, have fun while doing it. Because in the scale of the universe, the entire evolution of human species and its timeline is completely insignificant. And in the end, no matter how much wealth you accumulate, no matter how big of a deal someone thinks they are, in the end, it doesn't even matter.